Hello there, my name is Logosi Forex, and I'm here to share with you how to trade Forex. So, first thing we're going to do is we're going to get all the Forex pairs and check. So basically, so what's going to happen is most likely if you have a MACD, all right, you're going to have something that looks like this. Let me show you. You're going to have something that looks like this, right? But this is not what you want, all right? So what you want to do is basically you want to remove the histogram. You come to the MACD here, you want to change it into a histogram like that, okay? So you have to change it so that it looks like this. So basically the way I found this strategy was this blue line has to be above this orange line here on the daily, on the 4-hour, and on the 1 hour. So that's the formula. So we're going to start with this one here. You see it's above, it's not above here, and it's above here. So so the blue line is above the orange line on the daily and on the 1 hour, but it's not above on the 4-hour mark. Okay, it's not above on the 4-hour mark, so we will not trade it. All right, so this one, the blue line, the blue bar was above on the 4-hour mark and on the daily, but it's not above on the 1-hour chart, so we will not consider it. So basically we're using 3 time frames. Okay, that's a little bit better. Okay, so basically I'm using the MACD as my main indicator for the 1-hour time frame, the 4-hour time frame, and the daily time frame. So it has to be above the orange line. That blue bar has to be above the orange line on all 3 time frames, which is the daily here, and then the 4-hour here, and the 1 hour. Okay, so this one is almost there. So the moment it crosses that line, it will be a good buy, because it's already crossed that line on the 4-hour and on the daily. So this one is a good one to watch out for. Like in the next 1 hour. This is also another one good to watch out for. So remember, it has to be on 3 time frames. Okay, so far I haven't found anything, but remember, you have to do it the way I showed you. Has to be on three time frames. Wait, there was another one. That one. So these two, I'd keep a close eye on them on the 1 hour chart. I'd wait for it to cross that line, then I know it's a good buy. And you can also see the parabolic as well is kind of like in favor. I think another one to take note of, something called the force index. So shoot. All right, let me show you something. So you can see the bar is above the 0 line, so this shows you that the force, the price force, is definitely positive, right? So the price force is positive on the force index, right? So the last thing we're waiting for, and you can see the parabolic system as well, it has been activated. The price is above the parabolic lines, but you can see, like, basically on the 1 hour chart right there, it's just activated right here. So we're just waiting for this one here to cross. This one has been fully activated already. As you can see, it has crossed there, and here, and here. It's very much active. This is 50x margin. I would not advise you to use 50x margin, but this one is definitely active. Yeah, who knows what time I bought it. So we're risking about 2 to 3 to 5%, I think. All right, let's go. We still own it. Okay. We can pass through these, but it's honestly a waste of time. No. Unless on the downside, I guess. No, not even on the downside. Okay. No, sorry. Alright, this one has definitely, I think this is our winner. Oh no, it is not above. So yeah, so these are our two winners. That's this one here on the daily chart, on the 4 hour chart, and on the 1 hour chart. So we're just waiting for this one and this one, just waiting for them. And you can see this kind of looks like a bullish harami to me. This one is perfect. This is perfect. I think the signal was active since the 03. So I don't know. I mean, if we bought at the high of 0.7, 0.07 to the lows 0.076, so maybe 5%, give or take. Anyway, that's the volatility right there. So Uh, let's see if we can measure it from the force index. Let's see. The force index was kind of negative right here. Mm, I see two. How is it on 2 days? I think on 2 days it's a bit more clear. Let's see. Something. Definitely the entry would have been best here. So I think we would use the force index for entry, right? Like look at this point right here. Like this would have been your best entry on this bar right here. So in this case I would wait for another entry just to be sure. I mean, even below the moving average, the 14-day moving average would have been okay. I mean, it was not too bad because you're below the 14-day moving average, I would assume. But you know, there is no perfect entry at the end of the day, guys. There really isn't. Anyway, but I would assume this would be the perfect entry right here. But in this case, obviously, we're still waiting for, like in this case here, I'm still waiting for that cross there. And if it does cross, then I'll look for the entry, right? Somewhere here. All right, so that's for forex. Keep that there. Now let's look at let's look at stocks. Close. think this one is close out of all of them. This is the closest. I'll keep an eye on this one. Very close. Nah, I think it's going through. The only thing that would be left for this one would be the parabolic and the force index, right? So even after it hits that parabolic, would wait for that pullback on the force index for entry, right? But it's close enough. It's close enough. Let's see. It will be a bumpy ride, but it's close. It's close enough. Maybe even Apple. I would watch Apple as well. I would watch Apple too. So I'd watch Apple and Cisco. Definitely. I haven't seen any buy signals so far. So. All right, Johnson & Johnson looks promising. And shout out to Harry Potter who made this indicator. So I think the only thing that I would look for is the pullback on this one, on the hour, right? In the hourly chart, I think it's a definitely a good buy signal, that's for sure. I'll just look for a pullback. I don't know. I'll look for a pullback on this one for that perfect entry. So I think Johnson & Johnson is definitely a good buy. What do we have here? So we're definitely going to review it further. Okay. I don't want to confuse my brain. Yeah, this one too. This is also a very good buy signal. So I'm going to digest it a little further. I'll need time. Let me just get through. Let me just get through. So basically, I'm looking for buying opportunities. That's what I'm looking for. So now there's nothing wrong with trend analysis, and yeah, this is definitely one of them. Again, there's nothing wrong with trend analysis. Trend analysis is definitely a powerful thing, but the problem with trend analysis is that a lot of financial gurus use trend analysis, and that's why it is kind of like it's kind of like a crowded strategy, right? And so even as you begin on your trading journey, you want to stand out from these financial gurus, right? You do not want to follow the trends, and trend analysis is okay. It's cool, but you want to stand out from the financial gurus. All right, so I think we have these. I think we can. I want to delete these because I don't think they're ready. But anyway, it's fine. We can watch them. So now, as you can see with this one, it's above the orange line on the MACD, on the 4 hour, on the 1 hour, and on the daily. The next thing that I would look for is the parabolic system. So is the price above the parabolic system on all three time frames, which is the 1 hour and 4 hour time frame and the daily time frame. So as you can see, it is not above the parabolic system on the 4 hour time frame, even though on the 1 hour it is above. So I would not trade this one. Next one, as you can see, it's above the orange line on the 1 hour time frame, 4 hour time frame, and the daily time frame. But is it above the parabolic on all three time frames? Very, very important. All right, so it is. So the next thing that I would look for now is an entry signal. Now that's why it's very important to get the full package of trading view, so that you can see everything happening at once. So I'll definitely look for an entry, definitely most likely on the 1 hour chart. I mean, can we check on the 30-minute chart? Is it there? What about 15-minute? I don't know. I don't see any entry. Doesn't know 15 minutes on the 30. But yeah, definitely. So this one, I would definitely enter it. Now, remember, we're looking for the is it above the parabolic in all three time frames? All right, and it is. So ding ding ding, bingo bingo, we have one. Now, is there an entry? Is there a pullback on the force index, either on the 15 minutes or on the 30 minutes? As you can see, there is no pullback. So this one, I would wait for a pullback on the 1 hour chart, but definitely it's definitely meant to be on the watch list. So this is another awesome opportunity. So this one has an entry on the 30-minute chart, so I would remove these. So definitely I would buy this one because it has an entry on the 30-minute chart, and not on the 15, but it has an entry on the 30-minute chart, which is okay. So I'm going to remove these two because all I wanted was one by decision. Let's see what we have here. I think I have these two here. Alright, so let's look at these two. I think I had it by decision in here, but is there any pullback? 30-minute chart, no pullback. Okay. Alright, I was lucky. I was really lucky because I bought literally near the pullback on the 15-minute chart. Let me see, 30-minute. Okay. Yeah, I did buy on the 30-minute chart as well. So for a 2-minute, yeah, 2 minutes for a for a 2% risk. So 30-minute is okay. 30-minute, 15-minute is okay. But ideally, 1 hour pullback is the best. So right now, I think we're in a pullback. Is that a pullback? No. So yeah. Wait, did we have an entry in this one? Let me see, because I think with this one, yes, so we would not trade this one because it did not pass that test. So I think we just have these two awesome trades. So we can pass through this one because it has an entry on the 30-minute chart, which is okay. As you can see here, we have an entry. We don't need this funny red line, okay? So it has an entry right here on the 30-minute chart, which means we'll be risking about 2%. But as you can see here on the market D, it is above the orange line. In the 1 hour, it's above the orange line on the 4 hour, and it's above the orange line on the daily. And this move just happened yesterday. Okay, so this is a recent buying signal, a very recent buying signal. So ideally, it should reflect on the oil chart as well, ideally. So let me see what we have. Okay, it hasn't reflected on the oil chart. Interesting. I don't know why it hasn't reflected in the oil chart. Anyway, but this stock is definitely something that you should consider buying. Did you check the parabolic? Let's see. Let's confirm that if it was above the parabolic. Okay, yes, it is. It's been 2 days, so bingo. So I'm gonna post this on TradingView. So yeah. Wait, what did I just do? All right. So basically, this is what I'm planning to post on Trading View. So I'm just gonna read through it. Um, so learning how to trade these markets can be a challenge. I was watching an exercising video on YouTube around early morning, and this influencer said jump rope is one of the best cardio exercises. And so when I don't feel like exercising, jump rope is what I revert or default to. Think of the MACD indicator like a jump rope. Okay. Now notice that I have made a few alterations to the indicator. I changed the MACD line into a histogram. Also, I used the parabolic SAR on 3 time frames: 1 hour, 4 hour, and daily. Going through this process is something you have to see me demonstrate in live, as it's not easy to explain the process over text. Open your simulation trading account uh, and enter a buy order if you want to see what happens next. Rocket boost this content to learn more. So, and I say disclaimer: trading is risky. Please learn risk management and profit taking strategies. Also, feel free to use a simulation trading account before you trade with real money. So, basically, this is what I have found here, and this is what I am going to post on Trading View. So, the strategy is the same. It doesn't matter what market. Now, I want to share something with you. And this will open your eyes as to why I chose this trading strategy. Now, there are a lot of trading strategies out there that use robots, and again, there is nothing wrong with robots. I think robots are healthy. The only challenge with robots is that many of the robots and the bots out there, they use trend analysis, which is okay. But the challenge with trend analysis is that you have to be patient, and these moves happen like 4 times a year. You know what I mean? So that's why I stayed away from using trend analysis with a robot. So I thought I just go in hardcore, just using my mind. Okay. I'm going to show you something with stock trading. So I'm going to show you something. So I want you to remember this pattern. Remember this pattern here, right? Do not forget. Don't forget how it looks right here. Okay. Do not forget how it looks. Okay. Let's even remove this. So that you understand exactly what I'm trying to show you. I want you to remember at this, like look at this chat pattern here. I want to show you something, and this lesson is probably going to be one of the most important lessons I have ever shared with you. It's called fundamental analysis. think uh, what else? I think let's put volume. Alright, so remember the chart that I showed you. So the first thing that you do is um, you need to make sure the debt is below 1. Okay, if the debt is above 1, right, that means you know, the company is not doing well. So basically this is 100%, 50%, 25%, 10%. Right, so you want 10% debt to asset ratios. Okay, then you want a positive cash flow. Okay, what is this? Above what is this? Okay, let me see what you have here. I don't know what value you can put here. Okay, fine, maybe we'll just put a fake one. I don't know. Okay, so 2 million. I don't know, I'm just guessing. Okay, revenue growth, um, 25%. Okay, volume, I think 1 million. Value, so maybe we'll say 1 million. Okay, all right, so the point I'm trying to stress to you is okay, I think we have NVIDIA as well. So the point I'm trying to stress to you is that, oh yeah, of course, dividends. Mm, 10% above. Boom. So the point I'm trying to stress to you is look at the price of the companies. Right. Notice the chart patterns. Okay. Now, probably the one that you can afford most likely would be, this one, right? So I know this is not perfect, but I want you to notice the similarities. All right. So 10% is not favorable, right? So okay, 10% is okay if you are in America, I guess, but ideally you want dividend yield of 20%. Okay, ideally that's what you want. All right, dividend yield of 20% and above. So I want you to take note that there are similarities. All right, I know they're not, it's not exact, but what I want you to remember is the chart pattern. Look at the chart pattern, right? So it's very, very similar. Okay, the chart patterns are very similar. Okay, they're very, very similar. So what I showed you is basically uh, fundamental analysis, right? So you want to buy stocks that are cheap in historical prices, right? So from $37 historical high to $26, right? So, and a very good dividend yield of 20% and above, right? So as you can see, okay, so with high liquidity, so you want to buy stocks that have high liquidity with a revenue growth year over year of 25%, dividend yield of 20%, volume of 1 million, and debt to equity ratio below 10%. Okay, so 10% down and free cash flow of 2 million, right? So yeah, I think we can save that. So basically we can compare let's create a new one. I just want to create a new one. So basically we can compare the fundamental we can compare the fundamental analysis to we can compare the basically we can compare the fundamental analysis to charts to the way these charts look as well. Okay, so there is definitely a similarity. Now again, trading can be a little bit complicated, you know. It can be kind of like complicated to some extent, you know, and so you know, being understanding, you know. But one thing just to remember about trading is that you do not want to follow the trend. Okay, you do not want to follow bots. And I understand you want to follow bots, and there's nothing wrong with following trends. There's nothing wrong with following price. If you can manage to follow price, it's okay. But what I'm showing you is kind of like the fundamental side of technical analysis, where you're seeing we're looking for demand and supply, right? And that's why CVF is definitely a good example with an entry on the 30-minute chart. This is a perfect entry. Yeah, perfect entry. So basically that's how I would trade, and that's how trading, you know, should be. And understanding how to trade like that can allow you to trade any index or any market that you feel you want to trade, right? You know, so in this case I'm looking at silver. So I wouldn't trade silver because like a jump rope, it hasn't jumped over that orange line. Okay, I wouldn't trade Bitcoin either. Okay, let's see what we have on gold. I wouldn't trade gold either. Okay, because let me tell you why I wouldn't trade gold. Not only is it down on the 1 hour chart, it also has not fulfilled the parabolic system. So it takes time to master how to trade like that, but in due time you will get used, because especially if you know what you are looking for. I wouldn't trade the Nasdaq. I wouldn't trade the S&P 500. So especially if you know exactly what you are looking for, you would know how to trade. So feel free to rewind this video and go back to it. I'd like to thank you so much for watching. A shout out to my mentors, Robert Kiyosaki, who wrote the book Rich Dad Poor Dad, Tim Sykes, who wrote the foreword to the book The Penny Stock Course, and Matthew Crater, who wrote the book Rocket Stocks. And thank you to TradingView. Shout out to Harry Potter as well, a TradingView wizard who created the Force Index. Take care. Thank you for watching. Bye bye. And bye bye.